Hi everyone, welcome back. Annoyingly, I didn't advertise this bike all week because I wanted to get it in MOT. Sultan told me it was out of MOT, and then I checked this morning and it's got a year on it. So annoying. Not a year, sorry, 3 months on it, which is normally I wouldn't bother if it's got 3 months on it, but saying that, for 40 quid for peace of mind and for, you know, the test run and all of that, it's worth kind of quickly getting it to them, and we'll see how it goes, and then ideally we'll make a couple of hundred profit out of this so that we can carry on with some of the other projects. Annoyingly, I ordered the wrong valve for the WK, so I still can't test that out. Really bloody annoying, but not the end of the world. Wish me luck. Bike ran beautifully, guys. Got its year's MOT, fresh bill of health. I ran it for a bit long with the choke on, I forgot, but it's running well. It's a little bit up and down on the revs in the rain, but some bikes are like that. You'd be looking at the airbox seal and stuff like that, but it's not to the point where it's unusable. It's probably the smoothest virago I've ridden. It still has that bit of that pop, but they're known for that. There's a bit of a pop in the exhaust, just kind of pop, pop. But they did that from factory, and that's why they created these systems to count for that. But the real fix to them pops is to change the exhaust to have a high flow exhaust, and then you don't hear them anymore. So overall, great. I've put it up for $12.50 on Gumtree and Facebook. It's not going to get anywhere near that. I'll be happy with $8.50. I'll be very happy with $1,000. It's just to get it out the way now. So back to the Honda handlebars. They came out smooth. You can still see slight pitting and imperfections. But to be fair, some of it is in the places where, for example, look, you're going to have a rubber on their grip, and then some of these are behind, so actually the majority of the areas we're seeing is going to be fine, but what it does need is some lacquer or clear coat, whatever you want to call it. I follow the same system always when I'm doing basic black, satin, matte, whatever. If you're doing matte, you need to get a matte lacquer. This is not matte, this is gloss, but you can always use gloss and then scuff it up afterwards. Make sure you put enough layers on. Make sure it's dried for a week, and then give it a bit of a scuff, and that will take away the gloss anyway, and you'll get that matte finish, which is maybe what I'll do with this. I'm not going to film this, guys. You don't need to see me spraying with basic clear coat. That's silly. I haven't actually got much to do today after the virago stuff. Annoyingly, I got my new valve for the WK. I was really hoping to look at that engine again today. And I'd ordered the exhaust valve, and actually I'd been calling it the exhaust valve when I was searching for it, when I was talking about it. I was saying the exhaust valve. It's actually the intake I needed, which is a different valve. So I got the valve at home and I saw it and I thought, nah, it's too small. And then I run it up just in case, but of course it was too small. Normally it'd be as simple as going back online and ordering the exhaust valve. It's 20 quid, but I literally haven't got that at the moment. And I'm not kind of exaggerating. It's that kind of tight at the moment with money. So hopefully that sells over the next few days, and then we can kind of do a bit more. We can definitely look at this bike again. If I'm being honest with this bike, guys, I don't even know how to time the top end. I'm going to have to look it up. Hopefully it's similar to the YBR 125. I don't even know where the top end parts are. Actually, I would have put them somewhere. They'll be kind of in a clump somewhere in a box, but yeah, so it's going to be a bit of a puzzle for me. I mean, I've always kind of managed it in the past. I always get it done, but yeah, right. So I mean, I'll show you if it's a bit shinier in a bit, but I'm not going to show you the process. So, you can't really see, guys, but it has a layer of protection on there. I'm going to hang it up at least overnight, possibly the week, and we'll see how that goes. And that's kind of it, really. There's not much in this horrible weather. There isn't much more we can do. I don't know what I've got to do tomorrow either, actually. There's not really much on here. I wanted to wait for the light bezel to come back from that and the side panel, so I'm not gonna mess with the CB too much, actually. One thing I do need to remind myself of is I need to get some sort of pipe, some sort of, what was it, 36mm to come back, so that I can have my air filters behind the side panels. Oh god, I can hear Rab Jab. You can hear him a mile away.
The next day.
And Rab Jab were just saying that when that's all up and running, we'll do a race, CB200 versus modern KTM 125. They're probably not far off horsepower wise. I think
that's got more.
I think yours is 15,
Maybe
which is the max.
max.
And that is I doubt that's 20. I doubt that's probably
Actually,
13 or 14, if I'm being honest.
Old bikes, you lose more horsepower.
While we're waiting for Steve, I thought I'd taken these amals off already. Obviously I haven't, so I'm going to pop these off so that next week when the Wassels turn up, they're ready to go. We tried absolutely everything with this set of carbs. We got nowhere. So brand new off the shelf is our absolute last chance. You've seen us do the valves, we've done the compression tests, everything else is spot on. It needs a decent set of carbs, I think. And eventually it needs better exhaust. It is unmanageable in my opinion. John, I don't know what John thinks actually. And the other thing is, we did fix our oil leak when we did that last time. I haven't seen, there's no sign, yeah, no sign of that leak coming back, which is what my garage floor is very thankful for that. If this eventually fires up, we'll drop all of the oils again and we'll start again. I think John wants the classic mineral 40 weight in there. You can use modern day multi-grades, but I see why he wants the old-fashioned oil. That's okay. But for now, I'm going to get these amals off, get them kind of in a box. We're not going to sell them yet because we might use some of the parts of them. The Wassels and the amals, everything transfers over, and these have all got brand new parts. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to mess with the Wassels. They're off the shelf. They're going on this bike. But like for example, the Wassels are jetted as 200 mains and these are 180 mains, so we might need to swap the main jets, for example, stuff like that. We're thinking in our heads the extra 20 up jetting isn't the end of the world because we're not using filters at this stage. Alright guys, so we're set up for next week with the Wassels. There's a couple of pieces I'll change over. The banjo bolts, on the Wassels there's only one nipple on the banjo bolt. Now the only way that would work is if you run each fuel tap into the carb. There's something about that I don't like. If one tap gave up, the other carb wouldn't be fueled. If one of these taps happens to be the reserve, which it most likely is, it wouldn't get fuel when the tank got low. That's silly. So I'm going to put the original banjos back on with two nipples so that we can run a connected system like we had last time. And then hopefully this time next week this bike will be up and running beautifully, hopefully, fingers crossed, because at the moment it's a stunning bike and it's a pain in the arse. You can't have a stunning bike like this sitting here and then not have it running well, you know. And then if it runs beautifully at any point, John has got to get new silencers, because these things are the opposite to silencers.
Bye.